We should be all set. Ugh. Let's just check in, see how we're doing. I accidentally created a bad stream. Okay. Let's just give me one hot second. I'm going to delete that crappy bogus stream. Talk amongst yourselves. How's everybody doing tonight? How do I sound? How does music sound? Alright, let's go into content. And we are just going to go ahead and delete that 4-second long stream. Yes, I understand. I'm deleting it forever. So that way, people won't be as confused by my buffoonery. Cool. Alright. So that problem is fixed. The way I look at it, I will always break at least one thing in the process of launching a stream. So hopefully that will be our one thing. So as you can see, I have made some rays. Is that a bug? Yeah, that was a bug. So I got myself a panel at Otakon, and because of that, I thought I should make some prizes. So I got a whole bunch of Shinjis left over from something else. Let's switch to. There we go. I did a whole bunch of these Shinjis for magnets when I was tabling at NekoCon a number of years ago. So I made myself a couple more Asukas, made a couple more Rays, and then I'm going to turn those into magnets, and I'm going to give them out as prizes at Otakon this year, because I'm going to Otakon for the first time in several years. Which is... I'm not sure how to feel about that. I'm a little apprehensive and a little bit excited. I'm not really sure how to feel, because life is weird right now. Alright, so let's adjust that. So chat, tell me, how is everything sounding? Is the music loud enough? Too loud? Give me some guidance. All right. Before we can make anything today, I do need to iron these few rays that we have here. And while I'm doing that, let's switch to while we're doing that, I still want to do some Ava units. So I'm thinking about either doing one of these four. There we go. Very important, children. Do not burn yourself when operating an iron. So, Noah, Otakon is definitely not the only East Coast otaku anime con, but as far as anime cons between now and the end of the year in my immediate vicinity, I think it's one of the only ones that's actually happening. So there's Katsucon, which is DC area. That's normally in February. I think they had a virtual event this year. There's Anime USA in like November, December. This year has been canceled. And then there's Otakon, which is going to be in August. That's going to actually be in person this year. MagFest, which is the gaming con that I normally go to, was supposed to be virtual, but then canceled back in January. So there are actually quite a lot of fan conventions in this area. It's just a lot of them are slowly, getting back to functioning and operating in real life, as opposed to virtual, or planning to be virtual but then not actually happening, which has happened. So I have not been to a convention since January 2020, and I have not been to an anime con until... I'm actually not sure. I know I haven't been to Otakon since 2018. I think I went to Anime USA in 2019, but life's so weird. I can't keep track of things. So guys, I am very I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna be doing an interview with Claire of Fly Me to the Moon fame. She actually popped up on Reddit, and she was like, "Hey, thanks for all your enthusiasm and such, and I'm making more music." So I was like, "Hey, how would you like to do an interview?" Like, I don't think she has ever given an interview, like, especially not by like us Evangelion dorks. So it's going to be an exclusive, so to say. I'm pretty stoked. I'm working on my questions, and as you guys should hopefully have seen, I put out, on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube, a notice to that effect, and saying, "Hey, if you got any burning questions, leave them for me, and I will try to incorporate them into our interview." feel like, you know, a lot of the really obvious questions are probably, you know, already accounted for in what I'm going to be talking about. But, you know, I always like to try to connect with you guys. And, you know, sometimes you think of things that I don't think about. But, you know, it's great to involve you guys as much as possible because, you know, community. Community! Alright. One more. And then we can make something new. So Jefferson, how goes? If you're still listening, Jefferson, how goes Otakon staffing? I feel like it seems to me like you guys, generally speaking, you guys, even though I don't know that you have any involvement in logistics, but it seems like Otakon kind of just like not necessarily waited to the last minute, but just kind of abruptly, you know, pulled the trigger and decided to do an in-person event this year, which is kind of like probably how it goes with all these things, you know, because we're all just like trying to operate with the most current information and make decisions, and we're all kind of like, I don't know what to do. Can I go outside? Will I die? Well, global warming will kill you instead. But, yeah, I'm excited to go to Otakon. It's been a while. And all of these guys will be prizes. And I've set aside a handful of things over the past 2 years to be used as convention prizes, and then somebody on Twitter was looking to get rid of some stuff and give it a good home, and I was like, hey, I'm doing a panel. I could totally use stuff. And she was like, oh, hey, I know you. That would be great. So I got a package in the mail I'm expecting with a handful of things. One or two I might hold on to myself and be a little bit selfish, but I got stuff. I'm probably gonna give let's switch over to I just redid my scenes for my stream deck down here, and I'm still getting used to it. But this guy is going to be the biggest, physically biggest, dumbest prize at the Otakon panel this year. I hope somebody takes this home and loves it forever. But then I got some Funko Pops. I got some of those collector's pins from Udon that they were kind enough to send me to give away. I'm making, of course, magnets, you know. And, guys, I'm jazzed. I am jazzed for Otakon. It's been too long. Alright, let's take a look. What's going on? What's going on over here in chat? Can you win prizes virtually? Well, I'm not gonna say no. Well, in the short term, no. In the long term, I'm not gonna say, you know, no, because I do have some ideas for things in the future. Like, guys, well, we'll hold that thought for a quick second, and let's see. We are going to switch back over to... There we go. I think... let's do... You know what? Unit 0 doesn't really get a whole lot of love. So let's do Unit 0. Let's see, what colors will I need? Oh. Oh my god, guys. I have so many colors. I should spend more time with this hobby, but I have a tendency to stock up on beads and then not make anything with them. So my goal is to make a bunch of magnets for people for Otakon. Alright, so we need this green for the thing on the top of the head. We need 2 shades of yellow. Question is, which shades of yellow? There's not many good shades of yellow. I think it's going to have to be yellow and orange. And then we're going to need white, obviously, and black. And that should... red. And then... tomato red. And that should be most of what we're going to need. Gray and dark gray. Guys, this is getting a little bit out of hand. All right. Oop. There we go. So, to Noah's question, can one win prizes virtually? And in the short term, the answer's no. Just because just the logistics of shipping and getting stuff to people. But I'm always just swimming with ideas for things that I want to do with Ava Monkey. And among those things is I'd like to do some kind of a charity fundraiser sometime for like the National Alliance for Mental Health, or the suicide hotline, or something having to do with like mental health. I'd like to do that sometime, and one of my thoughts is that might be a good thing to do, like a little bit down the road, as obviously the channel grows and my social media presence grows, and I'm going to be interviewing Claire Littlely, to talk to her about her experience with recording Fly Me to the Moon, and I've kind of been in a holding pattern with reaching out to people about interviews, just because what happens with the upcoming dub stuff for both 3.0 plus 1.0 and the rest of the rebuild films is really going to inform a lot of those discussions. If we come to find out that if I wanted to talk to Mike McFarland, okay, who did the ADR direction for the prior 3 rebuild films, if I were to talk to him now, today, it would be a very different interview than if I talked to him 2 months from now after, all of those roles had been recast. So, I've been kind of holding off talking to some folks, for interview, just because there's going to be a lot of different questions moving forward. But my goal is to, do some oral histories with people that have been involved with Evangelion. And as I talk to more people, and build more connections with people that, particularly in the industry, maybe those people, I could drop a line down the road and say, hey, I'm doing this, little mini convention, live stream, charity fundraiser thing. Would you like to pop in and say hi? Something like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. And if I were to do that, some virtual prizes would probably be doable. So Noah, that was a tangent, but that is kind of my answer and kind of what I'm thinking about. Because there's things that I want to do, but they're down the road. So also, Noah, I do not have a list in my stream playlist, partially because a bunch of this stuff that I have in my playlist is like, it doesn't exist anymore, and I'm not sure how I feel about, well, like, a lot of these songs are not on YouTube, and they're not on Spotify, and I don't know. I don't want to... I've been thinking more and more about whether or not I should stream music that I don't have permission to use. Because I don't know. The answer is no, I'm sorry. But, maybe. I may set up a vaguely unaffiliated archive channel with some of the weird bits and bobs that I have found over the years that have disappeared, but should really be preserved for posterity. Because it's a shame. It's a shame when like on one hand, you gotta respect when somebody doesn't want their music to be available anymore, but it's also a real shame when, somebody does an arrangement of a song and then they just decide that, they don't want it to be available anymore. Messed that up. So yes, Nintendo, I have watched Cowboy Bebop, and I'm sorry to say it didn't really do very much for me. I really appreciated the production value and the music in the show, but it's one of those things that I watched. I tried watching back in the day when it was first, popular, like in the early 2000s, and I couldn't get through it. And then we watched it, as a group later on, and I liked it more because we were watching it on Blu-ray, because it was, the quality was a lot better than like the fan subs or rips that I had at that point in time. But Cowboy Bebop is one of those shows that like I appreciate, but I watched it once and I don't feel like I ever need to watch it ever again. It's just not my. It's not my thing. Or it was not. It was not my thing. I do need to get around to watching the movie sometime though. Never watched the movie. I guess as far as like, I think as far as Cowboy Bebop goes, I liked the standalone episodes, like I think like Mushroom Sangba and Toys in the Attic. I think are the two episodes that are like good standalone episodes that a lot of people, that are well liked by a lot of people. I really liked those kinds of episodes. But the like the ongoing story with like I guess Vash and not Vash, Spike and not Knives. I'm thinking of the characters' names from Trigun for some stupid reason. Was it Vincent? Was the villain's name Vincent? Like they were part of like this this crime triad syndicate thing. When it got into that like that part of the plot, I just completely checked out. Speaking of Claire. So Noah, yeah, I actually do get hit by copyright claims and not necessarily strikes. I think I did get a strike once for using some of this music. So like, I've been whittling down the playlist as I have. Found which things the YouTube copyright system does not like. So, Corey asks, what is my favorite robot anime? So, that depends on whether you consider Evangelion a robot anime. So, I'm just going to say my favorite robot anime other than Evangelion. Probably gonna be Gunbuster. Gunbuster is a solid show. Definitely worth looking into if you haven't watched it. So this, speaking of music that's no longer available, this was part of a compilation by a bunch of different, Japanese musical artists, and it's not available anymore, but I think I have it archived under a blog post on my site. I think if you search for like Evangelion chiptune or something like that, you'll find it. Some of the music in the compilation is unlistenable, but some of the chiptune stuff is real solid. Avas are just armor-plated Titans, or are they Titan Avas with no metal plating? I have always thought that Attack on Titan was like medieval Evangelion with a little bit of Spider-Man mixed in. That's another show that I really need to get around to finishing. Let's see. Let's close you so I don't make a mess. So, I try to stay out of, Corey, I try to stay out of, best girl arguments, but, as I've gotten older, I've really come to appreciate, Misato and Ritsuko as characters, and, Ritsuko is a sadly underappreciated character. I should do an analysis of her sometime and maybe tap Carl Horn, the illustrious Carl Horn, to co-write it with me, because he is a big Ritsuko supporter. Let's see, need one more little green one. Alright, and that is the head. That looks pretty good. Let's see. That's looking pretty good. Guys, I'll have you know, upbeat chiptune music is real good for walking, fast walking, or even jogging. Alright. And we got some hands. All right. Start building out this torso. So guys, we got less than a month to go now. Anybody stare longingly at their calendar every morning and cross every day off? So John, you named your cat Ray. John, I will raise you the cat that you named Ray, and raise you. I once met a lady who named her daughter Lilith specifically because of Evangelion, and she went by Lily. Some of my peers have commented on my particular interests in this fandom as being weird, when like the lore is so much more interesting. But I'm like, guys, fandom is nuts. Like that truck that my friends sent me that photo of with all the decals of the Ava girls on it. That kind of stuff just kind of fascinates me. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I am weird, but fandom is just, to me, so fascinating. Alright, guys. So, Noah, you're mentioning the 3.0 plus 1.0 discussion. So, chat, help me out here. I'm thinking about some more podcasts, like I did with Rocco and Goat Jesus, and with Wah and Chester, and I'm thinking about, what do I want to do as far as like reviews and such like that. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about recording 2 podcasts post 3.0 plus 1.0 release, okay? And one podcast will be with 2 or 3 people where we'll kind of just like be, nerdy otaku people and just talk about, just basically be anime fans and talk about it as anime fans. And then have a second one where I get together with 2 or 3 other, basically film degree graduate type people, like people that are actually really into like film theory analysis and dissection, and kind of go over it like as a cinematic work, so like on one hand we'll talk about it as a movie, as entertainment, and on the other hand, in the second one, we'll talk about it as as a film or as art. So like you get kind of 2 distinctly different conversations about Evangelion, or about this particular movie, because like I'm sure we could talk about it for like 4 hours if we wanted to, but it might be good to just like break it up into like 2 different sort of themed or purposed talks. Chat, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think you'll like having it structured that way, where there's 2 different podcasts with 2 different tones? Let me know, because I'm thinking about, I gotta start making some decisions soon, because we're counting down the days, and I gotta get all my plans in order. I will have to, I'll have to see what I can do about, maybe I'll make a YouTube playlist with, with as many of the songs in this playlist as possible. I do really want to, make some music-oriented content, like a top 5 covers of Come Sister Todd. I think that'd be a cool video to make. And Unit 0 should be done now. Let's just take a quick look and make sure I didn't mess anything up. Yeah, that looks good. Zero Goki. Let's close. So the Frank Sinatra style cover of Come Sister Todd is probably Plantina Jazz, I think. That's a pretty good one. One that I found recently that I really dig is somebody did it's called Good Night. No, Sid, that's my mobile phone. Somebody was trying to call me. I found a cover of Come Sister Todd called Good Night Asuka, where it's Come Sister Todd, but it's played like a lullaby, and it's so sleepy and relaxing. I kind of love it. It's by like a channel that has like so few subscribers that I really want to give them some attention. All right, let's not burn ourselves. No, Sid, I do not. Landlines are so dumb. Like you don't call a building, unless it's like a store. Oh, I'm so dumb. Also, 420, lol. I feel like businesses are the only things that should have landline phones anymore. But when I moved and had to weigh my options for internet because I couldn't keep the plan that I had been grandfathered into for internet that was cheaper, of course. I was weighing the two only options, and one of those options would not let me just get just internet, and they had to I didn't have to pay for cable TV, but they were like, internet comes with phone service, and I'm like, no, I don't want a phone number, I don't want a landline number, so I can get calls from people. They can put my name and phone number in the phone book, and I don't know. It was so dumb. I was like, I don't need a phone. And he's like, well, you don't have to use it. You can just leave it in the box. And I'm like, that's not the answer to that question. And you had to pay them to not have your phone number and name and address put into their phone book. And I was like, you guys, no. You guys suck. I'm not giving you this business. Peace. Alright. And there's our Zeragoki. Let's flatten you there for a minute. So, let's see. I think next time, I'm afraid I'm probably gonna have to run out. But I think next time I think we'll make Unit 2 and Unit 3. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to run out. Gotta go fetch the wife. So, guys, if you have any burning questions or any ideas for topics for when I interview Claire, drop them on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, or YouTube. I've got a post on all 5 of those platforms. You can chime in, and yeah, look forward to it. And I'll see you again next time, or sometime soon. So, good night, kids.